Well, hello. It's been a while since we did one of these business after hours interviews. Noah Harris is here from the Chamber of Commerce, of course. Myrtle Nelson from Niacog. We'll get into a chat about that and what's going to happen here on Thursday, July 13th. It's coming up right around the corner here. Noah, we haven't done a business after hours here. Well, at least an interview anyway. But it's been a busy summer.
It's been a while. I think the last one we did was for May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before Band Fest and everything else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's been a while. We're excited about this one for sure. This Myrtle will talk more about it, I'm sure. But this business after hours is actually hosted in conjunction with Niacog's 50th anniversary in Mason City. So it's going to be probably a little bit more people than a regular business after hours than you would expect.
Okay.
They're inviting their clients and things like that, so it's going to be a good time, and the chamber obviously has a lot of things coming up. July is sort of not a dull month for us, but August, we have quite a few things going on in August, so
it's a catch your breath month.
It is sort of. I mean, it always feels like it's going to be that way, and then it never really is that way around here.
Right.
We're just busy all the time, but one of the big things that we're excited about in August is the Moonlight Bike Ride.
Right.
We've had to cancel that 2 years in a row, so it's comeback year 2023. We have a rain date this year. I failed to do that the last 2 years, but this year I finally got around to doing it.
Awesome.
Wow. You're finally learning something.
Yeah.
I learned something. Figuring it out.
What's the date on that again?
It's that Friday, August 18th.
18th. Okay. Very good.
And then the rain date is the following Friday, August 25th.
Okay. The following Friday then. Okay. Yeah. Great. So that's what we can get ready for with the chamber. Of course, happening here at the Business After Hours on Thursday, July 13th, will be you'll have the drawings and the jackpot, all that fun stuff. It's 4 to 6. That seems to be sticking pretty good here, that time slot.
Yeah, 4 to 6 p.m. And obviously, Niacog is going to do a great job with like the drinks and the food and stuff like that. And like you mentioned, I think our progressive drawing is up to $150 this month. So stop by if you're present at 5:30 and I draw the name of your organization, then you're a winner. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Noah. I know that you have another meeting to go to, and we might see you disappear here in a little bit, but that's fine. We've got a lot to chat about with Myrtle here.
Yeah. Hi there.
Hi there, Myrtle. What do you do? What do you do, Myrtle, for Niacog?
Well, I show up to work every single day, and I work really hard. No, my title is executive director, so I get to work with a bunch of really great people to help make North Iowa a better place to live, work, and play. Right. Yeah. Our organization, Niacog, stands for the North Iowa Area Council of Governments. So that lengthy title is why we say Niacog, because it is so lengthy. But anyway, we're a membership organization that has the cities and counties in North Iowa as its members. So there's 8 counties and 67 cities. So we have 75 governments that we answer to and work with really to help enhance North Iowa. And we're most famous, I guess, for bringing money into the region. And we added some numbers up and came up with over 200 million that we brought in within the last 20 years or so. And so that has a lot to do with safe drinking water for cities and keeping those rates affordable for the people who live in them. And something that's not so sexy is sewer systems. But when your sewer doesn't work, you really miss it, right? So also an important function of a city. Another thing that we devote quite a bit of our staff to is the transit system. So mostly elderly and disabled people who need a ride to the doctor, to the grocery store, or wherever, they'll call us and we'll schedule a ride for them to get them to where we need to go. And believe it or not, we do like 300,000 rides a year. So a whole lot of rides, a whole lot of people needing to get where they need to go.
That's all this
very poor English, but you'll have to just excuse me on that. And then we also do a lot of housing. We do housing development, but more day to day, we do a lot of home repairs. And so we've repaired about 1,000 homes within the last 20 or so years. And uh, really throughout our 8 county region. Some things are small, like maybe someone is elderly, can't get in the bathtub, so they need a zero entry shower. So we put those in, or boy, their house is really an eyesore, and so we replace siding and windows and things like that as well. So we do about I think we're doing about 60 projects this year, 60 home rehabilitation.
Just in Mason City or the
No,
county?
it's throughout our 8 county region.
Oh, okay.
Initially, our housing trust fund was only Cerro Gordo County because the other counties were affiliated with other housing trust funds, but now it's every place in our region.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that. The people are really so thankful again. Elderly and disabled people are really our prioritized applicants, but when we can help others, we do that as well.
Myrtle, how many people do you have working there?
There's a staff of about 44 people, and
Oh, wow.
boy, something if you don't mind my mentioning is boy, we need bus drivers, part-time bus drivers to help us to continue to offer the service. And I mentioned 300,000 rides a year. It's been our average until very recently. I think last year, partly due to COVID, partly due to a shortage of bus drivers, we haven't been able to give quite as many rides. So we were down about 50,000 rides last year. So we really need bus drivers to help us get all of the people who call us, because we do have to turn people down for lack of space, which really relates to a lack of driver capacity.
Well, Myrtle, you're in luck, because that's what we figured out, Jay and I, after we retire from radio.
Yeah, you know what, Harry? Harry, I know you are joking, but
Not really.
Hey, awesome. Hey, you want to come in? We have application forms. You can apply online.
How about 10 years?
There you go.
Gotta give a good
Whatever
10 more
it is,
years.
we'll take you. But,
Look, they're still going to make you. They're still going to make you apply, Harry.
Yes.
That's right. Apply for a job at 70. That'll be great.
Believe it or not, you wouldn't be the youngest driver at 70 here at Niacog. But and a fair number of our drivers are retired folks. You know, that we have a retired dentist, for example, and a retired custodian, and you know, just lots of different.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Myrtle.
Well, there she went. She was done.
I guess. Well, Noah, we thought you would be the one that would actually leave early.
Still got me.
Yeah.
Not for long though. It might just be you guys. You guys might have to do like a.
Yeah, she's back now. Yeah.
There she is.
We were just ready to make up the rest of the show here.
You know, I'm starting to think I have a short in my camera.
Oh.
But anyway, I was just mentioning that we have
Put that in the
people
budget.
drive from a variety of different places. One Vision to people who have retired from there come to work for us too. So.
Myrtle, what's the most common thing that you guys do most? Because it sounds to me like you have Niacog does so many things. There's so much that fits underneath the umbrella of that.
Yeah.
What's the most common?
So the most common is securing federal funds to make projects work locally, whether that's a transit system, a water system, a sewer system, housing, restoring facades in downtowns. You know, it's really a lot about the grants. Yes, that's a really great way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. And boy, we get to work with some really great cities and counties and developers. And so you'll see, for people who come, you'll see examples of the impact of what we've been doing in terms of some before and after of the housing projects, and even some slides that just show new. Should I even mention this? New wastewater treatment facilities. Now, doesn't that say excitement? That says excitement right there. I know. And, hey, we're also having a meal, so let's talk about that a little bit. We're having a pork loin dinner. and cake, and we're giving away commemorative mugs, and we're having a whole variety of drinks, and hopefully people will come and toast with us the last 50 years and share with us a toast for the next 50 years, so we can keep going and making the difference for North Iowans.
So where should people be parking on Thursday on the 13th?
Oh, thanks for mentioning that. So we have in our fleet, I think it's 67 buses. And so 3 of them are going to be constantly going from the Shopco parking lot, the old Shopco that's by Culver's, and transporting them to our facility, the building that's like 2 minutes, okay, maybe 30 seconds away from there. But anyway, so we'll be
Can people can people walk over? I mean, if they
absolutely they could.
Watch for cars.
And it's supposed to be 84 degrees tomorrow. So if people are comfortable with walking, absolutely, that would be great.
Is there any special door they go? Any special door they go into? I know just follow the Yellow Brick Road usually, but
they could go in the front door or the west door. Either one would work.
Okay. And you have a cafeteria there that you're going to kind of serve everybody?
We're going to have food in a couple of areas. We'll have it out in, this is not going to sound attractive in the bus barn, but for what that picture paints, it's like the cleanest facility you'll ever see. And I got to say, the custodian and the people who maintain the building do a fantastic job. And you may go through the shop, which can hold 4 buses. It's a pretty large shop. Again, the cleanest shop you'll probably ever see, and they maintain it that way. That they do a fantastic job with that. So in the bus barn, also in our training room, we do have a training room where we host like safety training for workers from the cities and counties and things like that. And it holds about 30 people, so we'll have food in there and some tables set up if people want to stay in the air conditioning. We also have a conference room where they can sit down and eat as well. So,
is there information people can find about Niacog?
Yeah, we have a website that contains all kinds of information about Niacog, what we do, and it's one of those agencies where you could spend an hour and still not touch everything we do. So I try to, nutshell what we do as much as I can when we talk about it. But the website address is niacog.org. So it's Niacog, not Nyack the college, Niacog, the governments, but we often get confused with them. We often get confused also with North Iowa Community Action Organization, who are, by the way, one of our partners, that they refer people like to our housing program a lot. And when we were having issues with some homeowners who really needed to also clean up their homes, we went to them to work together on case management. So I'll do a short presentation of like 10 minutes to cover a whole bunch of things with more pictures than information than spoken or typed words, but that will describe a little bit about those partnerships.
I wondered about that. I said, okay, it's business after hours. Don't make it a press conference.
No.
But I can see a lot of people having a lot of questions about it. You guys, your phones must be ringing off the hook every day just with questions about this, that, and the other thing.
Well, and I got the nicest email from the Hampton Dubot schools today, just saying more or less, thanks for coming to our rescue. They got some federal money and needed to comply with this regulation about minimum wages, and it's called Davis-Bacon Act, if you've heard of that. And so we were able to help them with that, and they really didn't have another route to go. So really happy to help out when people need that kind of help.
Wonderful. Okay. I was going to ask you just one more thing: is what do you think is the biggest? Because you talked about the bus drivers and stuff like that, and I mean, we're just learning that today. I didn't know that you guys did as much as you did with that. That's incredible, and I bet there's a list of stuff that a lot of people, Joe Public, has no idea, that you guys are helping out or taking care of or handling. What's probably the most undermining situation, I guess, that you have to deal with that people probably don't know or basically, oh, you guys handle that?
Oh, I'd say probably that we assist organizations that also help in the community, like the hazmat team, for example. We're their fiscal agents, so we track their figures, we make sure they get audited, we organize their meetings, and that team makes sure that if there's ever a physical contamination kind of spill, that there's this team of people ready to go and take care of that. Another example is the North Central Iowa Alliance. They're a group of economic development corporations in North Iowa, all of which are trying to recruit good businesses and jobs into the area, also to recruit workers right now, which tends to be almost more of an emphasis because that's such a need. Well, not only in our area, not only in Iowa, but throughout the country. That securing additional workers, sometimes that means different things than we think. It's not just about wages anymore. We have a housing shortage too. So we need to look at how do we create new housing to be able to have workers who are happy in the environment.
Is that why? And this could be a touchy question, but I'm just going to throw it out there because I think it's asked by many people all the time. Is that why we stick around 30,000 people all the time? We never get any more. It seems like it's that number. We see some things come in, we see some things leave, and we seem to stick. I've been here 38 years now, and it's always been 29, 30,000 in population. And I'm just talking about here now. I know that you guys cover, a lot more counties.
Now, you just ask a person with a math degree who's all about data, about data. So thank you very much, Harry.
You're very welcome. All right.
So with our population, we've seen a very dramatic decline since 1960. It just plummeted for a couple of decades. Since then, it's kind of leveled off, and just with the most recent census, we saw it almost start to be level. So our goal, though, is not just to be level, but to try to start to increase that. So we developed a comprehensive economic development strategy that looks at why did that thing happen and how do we get to the next phase. So the why did that happen really has to do with a lot of brain drain. Where we've been losing historically 30% of our population, with that younger group really just moving on, just exiting the area. So a lot of it is out-migration exceeding really people moving in and people being born, new births. What we're seeing now is that is shifting. So it went from 30%, which had happened again for decades, to now in the most recent decade being 20%. Yeah, sure, you don't want to lose 20% of your young people, but to see it reduced by a third is kind of exciting, right? And we're at an age right now when a lot of people can live where they want to and be employed by the same company. My friend Kate can live with her where her mom lives right now, and she's 94, sharp as a tack, but her company's out in Maryland, so she's able to continue to be in the Midwest, which is exciting. So all of that to say, and another thing that we saw was that people who had moved out in that younger generation now moved back in this more recent census. So we're seeing that coming back into the region, and a housing shortage and quality of housing has been stated by some as a reason that some have left. That has been said. In fact, we did a survey in Charles City when we were doing a comprehensive plan for the city that asked people, okay, what would it take for you to stay? And the answer was different based on age. And what the younger people actually said was really good internet service.
Of course. They want fast.
They would also say high-paying jobs, but really good internet service. So and the city of Charles City's taking that very seriously and really trying to look at how do we improve our broadband. So those kinds of things make a difference. A few other things that they said was things to do, and I think that's been expanded. I know the chambers and Mason City has really been working hard to create more activity in the downtown area, and I think that's been helping as well.
I'm a firm believer in competition, but I've always said that internet should be a utility.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Myrtle, I'm curious. I mean, what was it? What has been the biggest population for Mason City? Like 44,000 or something?
Oh, I should know that number, and it's not coming to me. I want to say it's like 34.
Oh, 34?
Bring that right. It was something like that, I think.
All
Yeah,
right.
I just claim to be a data person, and then I can't remember that number, but I'm pretty sure it's something around that. But it has been declining steadily. Could have been 38, something like that.
Yeah. So close to 44.
This is great, Myrtle.
And
I
I
think we
can
can
tell
probably.
you, like Woods and Pool, famous for forecasting population. I remember back in the 90s thinking when they were predicting this large population loss, they don't know what they're talking about. But they said it come true, right? So for what it's worth, they're expecting slow, steady growth in our area. So,
Well, think about it. Noah here is our future. I mean,
oh, Lord help us.
yeah, he's recently married, hasn't had the kids yet, but I mean, that could become. And so you are here, Noah. So we
help out the
people like you.
Help out the population.
We're going to add another 1,000 or 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, this is going to be great, and I'm sure, Myrtle, you're going to be talking your ear off to a lot of people. Are going to have a lot of questions. And stuff, but she's the executive director of Niacog, Myrtle Nelson, joining us here today. Business After Hours, and 4 to 6, July 13th, Thursday night, and I don't know. We're going to say it's only 2 hours, but I can see people hanging on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Later. But so your website, can they find you? You have a Facebook page. You got a phone number that people can contact you for any information.
Yeah, if people would like to attend, they can either email us or call us. They're certainly always welcome to check out our website. Our email address is niacog@niacog.org. mnelson@niacog.org. Yes, niacog@niacog.org.
All right.
Thank you. And our phone number is 641-423-0491.
All right, wonderful. Myrtle, do you answer the phone?
Sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. Okay, they're pretty busy.
The desk doesn't have to be there. Jody's gone. Sometimes.
There you go. Thank you, Myrtle, and thank you, Noah. This has been very enlightening, and we hope for a great turnout. Again, park in the Shopko parking lot and walk over, or wait for the bus. They'll actually take you over there if you need to. So. Great, guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me be on.
Yeah, thank you.
It's Business After Hours.